It's still December 25th, 2021. We're down here, and I'm telling Andrew and everybody what little bit I know about the place. We've got a picture of Dad and Grandpa House and Grandma House standing in front of this house. Dad was probably about 10 or 11 years old, somewhere in that neighborhood. So the house is at least that old. Dad was born in 23, so that picture was probably took in the early 30s. So that's about all I know about that. It's always been here as far as I know. And then over here, in this little log, this Grandpa House, I suppose, built this. You can look at the timber. They were hewn out just like they did just about everything back then. Hand hewn. This, as far as I know, this thing's been here as long as I can remember. This was storage, and they had a kind of a root cellar down there. You can kind of see through the boards there, but they stored all kinds of. My grandpa would not throw anything away. You can see the string back there in them balls. That string is every bit of 50, 60 years old. Okay, hi baby. And then over here, this is the cellar that I can always remember putting their canned goods in. This was built in here. Now, the thing I can remember about this is they always told me that this was a snaky place right in there. I think that might have been just to keep me out of there as a kid. But I heard stories about them killing snakes in there, so I never ventured in there because I'm terrified of the reptiles.
Is there snakes in there now?
There might be. I doubt it, but there might be. Then right back here, this little log building back here, this is what I always heard them call the smokehouse. That's where they smoked the meat. And Mr. Sturgeon...
Also hand-hewn.
Also hand-hewn. It's always been there as long as I can remember, but I don't ever remember them smoking it, curing any meat in there. But you could, if you look around, you can see where they passed the roof. There was a pipe. They had a stove and everything in there. And it's set up. I can remember the shelves in there. That's not there now. But that's where they smoked, cured the meat. Over there across the creek where that tin is, that was a chicken house. That was the chicken house where Grandma kept her chickens. At one time, there was a little footbridge across that. It's probably all gone now.
Well, this is all piled up like there had been a rock step
there. That was a set of steps at one time. You can kind of see how they brought in them flat rocks. But that was a lot of work, let me tell you. A lot of work.
Grandson down there to clean that one out.
Yeah, there you go. That's why. That's why you have children, so you can have grandkids to do that.
Did you make this that?
What, baby?
Did you make this that?
Okay. You want to go up in here, Andrew? This is pretty much the way the porch was laid out whenever I was a kid. We've got pictures of that somehow. It wasn't this nice with the steps all to it, but that's now, this was a bedroom. This was a bedroom. Right here there was a flue. The flue was two-sided. And there was a stove here, stove in the living room in there, where the stick was.
Plank flooring.
Plank flooring, all pretty much rough sawed lumber, isn't it, Andrew?
Yep.
This back here, at what was a back porch, and then Grandpa House added this on later. I can remember that.
The flooring's different. You
The flooring's different. You can see that right there.
The flooring back here is pine instead of rough sawed oak.
Yep. Now, I'll show you this right here. I was telling Andrew and Mrs. Sturgeon about this right here, the hole in the door. That was put there by Andrew's grandpa, sitting in bed, loading a double-barrel shotgun, and it went off, and he blowed a hole in the door. So, whoever it was in here with him probably about had a heart attack, I'd say, but you know, he would have jumped on to me for doing that. This right here was the living room. We've got some pictures of it. There was a couch set right here. There was shelves right here. The window's always been there. There was a table that they kept a radio on right there, because you can see the plug-in right there. You don't see many. Grandma and Grandpa's dresser was over there right in between those two doors. But that's about all I can tell you about that. Now, Whoops.
Sorry.
You're all right. Right here was the kitchen. And from what we can tell by the pictures, this was added on because this is the window. So, I don't. If it hadn't been added on, there's no reason for a window here, unless you had a drive-through. Anyway.
They took these out, right? These were swinging windows
Yeah,
like
these
this
were
one over
swinging
here.
windows. They would swing in. You can see the hinges
Yeah.
still there. This is right over here swinging. There was cabinets right here. Those my grandma was a short woman. Those cabinets was only built about so high. And there's the hole for the drain. They never had running water in this kitchen. Never did.
Wow.
They had a cistern that was out here. Yeah.
Just wanted to show the
Still work?
swinging window, yeah.
Get a good
And then
view
you
of
can see
everything.
the smokehouse.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
All right,
step
watch your face.
Watch your head. Watch your coat there, girl.
I wouldn't step on this. I already did. That's dangerous.
Grandma and Grandpa's sister,
There's the same thing
well,
right
was
here.
right there.
How many times have you stepped
It had a well casing right there. Dad said it was,
Is that rock we're seeing at the edge?
could be some, I don't know, but it was concrete, part of the time
Oh,
that I
was
can
it?
remember. But anyway, they got it there, and they said that they had a blind preacher come in and witch that well. It was right in here.
Blind?
Blind?
Are you sure he was blind?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. That's what your great-grandpa said.
Well, he couldn't see the water in the ground, could he?
That's right.
This is the outhouse from down there.
Yep.
He was
Yep.
telling us he
Yeah.
moved it up here.
Mr. Wayne said that Grandma and Grandpa's ice box set right here, but her refrigerator set right there. There's a plug-in right there for it. But this has been added on later. It and the kitchen's been added on later. Now, you want to go look upstairs?
Yes,
Andrew?
I did not go look upstairs.
I'm not going to go very far up there, but I'll go upstairs with you.
Me too.
This is. No, it's not bad. Okay, here we go. It's just trying to get an old man like me up here.
These steps are steep. You can't tell in the video, but they are steep. People back in the day were tougher than than people climbing stairs today.
Now then, if you look here, here's the swinging windows again. I think they may not be swinging windows now. This was a bedroom, right here. There were shuck mattresses in here that I can remember.
Explain a shuck mattress for those of us that.
Okay, what they do, they would get the I think they called it ticking to make the cloth. They would sew it all together and everything like that. Then you get dried corn shucks and just stuff it with it. And that was, they would fill the mattress, and you knew it whenever you rolled over, it'd rattle. But there used to be shuck mattresses up there. This was a bedroom over here. Right in over through here. And then this was a bedroom over here. So if you see how that's all done, they had quite a bit of room once they got up here.
Not to stand up.
No, not to stand up.
I can.
Yeah, that's just about perfect Ellie size, isn't it?
I can remember all this being covered with old newspapers. You can see some of the newspaper printing right here on the door. Like that right there.
Don't go in here yet. I'm not sure it's safe.
I really wish I could see a date on that, but I doubt
Well,
I can.
I know some of the dates on some of this stuff was back in the 20s. But anyway, this is pretty much the way I can remember all of it.
Quit trying to lock me in, girl.
Come here, Andrew. You can see some of the wallpaper here.
Somebody did a lot of quilt making.
Yeah, Grandma's house had a lot of quilts.
I found a poster from a fair that I'm going to get cleaned up. It was Ozark Empire Fair, and it's the
That's neat.
rides are old. Here's some of the wallpaper
Wallpaper probably from downstairs.
that I was telling you about.
Now, guys, while you guys look that all over, I'm going to look. Did you guys hear all this stuff creak as I walked across it? I'm going to go back downstairs.
All right, hold on. Before you go down,
Okay.
tell us one story from this house.
From this house,
This house.
I can remember that we would always come over here when Uncle Herb and Hazel would come in from California. And you'll see pictures, if I can find them down there, of all of us sitting all in that living room right down there. Harold and Ruby would usually come from Kansas City, or up there where they lived up there. Whenever it was always when Uncle Herb come over here. And we'd come over. I don't know. I can't remember. I can always remember Grandma's house whenever she'd cook. And your grandma, Mom, Gran, said that she made soda biscuits. Those biscuits, to me, when I was a kid, looked like they were that big around. Maybe they weren't, but they were big old biscuits. I can remember them. And Pauline spent a lot more time over here than I ever did. And I think Grandma died Grandma died March 18th, 1963. Because she died the day before your Aunt Penny was born.
Quit. And that's the last time somebody lived here, right?
No, not after that. Pauline, when him and Joanne lived here for a time, I don't know exactly how long, but we still lived down there. It's like I was telling Wayne and Mrs. Wayne that we got in there. Whenever Grandma died, people thought that we would move up here. Dad wouldn't move up here. We stayed down there. So when Pauline married Joanne, they moved up here. They lived there for a while till they moved to Sparta. Bill, they lived here when I think Bill and Sis was born.
Really?
What are you doing shutting that door, girlie?
When was that? Ballpark.
I think Bill was born in 67. Sis was probably born in about 69. So that was probably about the last time. Then they moved out and nobody lived here that I don't think even Mr. Batson stayed down there. So that's all I can tell you. But
All right. Tell everybody bye.
bye. Guys, that's all I know. For further information,
I was going to show you these doors. If you're